Hello, my name is Brienne, and today we will be doing yoga with the hopes of bringing some ease and openness to both the throat and chest region. So, for many of us across the globe right now, we are experiencing a life of living in smoke every single day from sun up to sundown. And what that has meant is that a lot of us stay inside, lock all the doors, just stay completely isolated from the outdoors. And we also tend to breathe much more shallowly when we do venture out. So, this class is all about reversing those tendencies and providing some balance in this time of somewhat chaos when it comes to global events and the raging fires across the globe. So, to get started, let's first get a comfortable seat. So, for me, that usually means grabbing a block or a small pillow and placing that underneath the sits bone so that you sit a little bit higher up. What we're after is that the sits bones are actually higher or level with the knees. So for some of us, that means we should be sitting up on multiple pillows in order to achieve that balance. And what that does is it allows the low back to relax. So we can stay seated for much longer and stay comfortable in the process. So once you find your prop, go ahead and move any flesh muscle out of the way so that you can sit up on top of that prop and feel the lordosis or curve in the low back originate naturally without any effort from the torso. So we're going to have soft bellies here. But go ahead and bring your hand there now and start to release any tension that culminates in the torso. And then we'll bring that softness higher up into the low ribs. And I really want you to bring your hands there. Bring one hand at least behind you and another in front, and perhaps start from there to explore the edges of the ribs, the side body. And we'll begin deeply breathing down into this low rib region. So you can imagine breathing past the low ribs and trying to fill up the volume of your belly, imagining the volume to be spherical like the earth. Feel yourself balloon like inflate on inhale, and then feel that expansion carry into those low ribs as we begin to pull the breath even further up into where we normally breathe on a typical day, which is up here in the very top of the chest. So as you continue to breathe, draw it all the way down into the belly, and then feel the rest of the torso begin to create space as the breath continues to enter the body and expand the torso. And then on the exhale, we'll start at the belly as well, squeezing first the belly to deflate that balloon, then the low ribs, and then these upper ribs, trapezius, collarbones. So you're completely empty, and we'll start that process again, filling up the global sphere of the belly. Close the eyes here. And as you continue to breathe, bring your hands together to rub in front of the body. So as we bring some heat in the palms, the breath is still flowing. We're still accessing the entire torso with this breath, now growing quite large, quite deep. Once you feel the heat sufficiently gathered between the palms, go ahead and release the palms from one another and cup each eye. Continue your deep breathing and release any tension or agitation in the eyes. The smoke affects more than just the lungs, more than just the throat. It affects us holistically. And a lot of that irritation actually enters through the eyes. Close them, feel the relief as the eyes begin to water, soothing any dry irritation. And go ahead and release. And then we'll bring our awareness to the throat at this point. So go ahead and bring your hands to the throat. You can bring one or both. In this region, this chakra is known to be activated by the color blue. So as we again close the eyes here, keep breathing deeply down into the belly, soothing the inner eyelids, and start to imagine your breath as it passes through the esophagus, passes through the throat. Imagine it getting charged or infused with cooling blue light. Soften all the muscles of the face as you breathe this cool energy, this cooling blue electric energy through the nose, through the nostrils, into the throat, the mouth cavity, and down into the esophagus, belly, chest, ribs. So the brightest point of blue is at the throat, but you can feel that energy emanating from that center. So it's washing your head and your chest and your heart with the soothing blue. You can release the hands whenever that feels more comfortable and keep the awareness located right there at the throat as you breathe. So we'll take 3 more cycles of breath like this, filling the belly first and feeling as though as the air passes through your throat, gets cooled down by this blue light. And that cooling light turns into fresh water or energy as it fills up the belly and chest. 2 more cycles of breath like this. And on the exhale of each of these breaths, imagine that you're releasing any stale energy and fixate a color on that that suits your liking. That might be brown or gray or some kind of yucky version of yellow, whatever you feel in terms of the smoke that has gathered in your body. Use your strong core muscles on this last breath to squeeze that smoke out. Every fiber of it, out of every cell. Squeeze it out. Then on the next inhale, go ahead and open your gaze to a fuzzy gaze in front of the body. And we'll release the hands down from knees. Sweep the arms out to the sides and bring them up overhead. So drop the shoulders down the back, keep the arms reaching up, and then see if you can create a 3 dimensional hug. So you feel the muscles of the torso squeezing into the spine. The idea with opening the chest here is that it's more than just the front of the body, it's also the back of the body. So feel your wings spreading to make room for that fresh air. And then on the exhale, put the palms down and allow the wings to glide their way back to the earth. Inhale, put the palms, sweep it back up. Feel yourself expanding 3 dimensionally. Exhale your way back down. So the legs can be extremely passive here. As you inhale, linking your breath with your motion, all that motion is in the top of the body from the navel up, right? So we're using our back muscles, we're using our shoulders, the neck, pectorals, arm muscles. But we're really soft through the face, through the back of the head, and through the entire lower body. 1 more breath. Let's sweep those arms up. Feel yourself breathing deeper than you have all day. And on the exhale, we're just going to twist over that right leg. Hold it there. Inhale. And as you exhale, come back to center. Let the arms drop down to the earth. Inhale, sweep up your energy, culminating some strength from the earth. And twist over to the left. Exhale your breath, but hold your body. Inhale your way back to center. And go ahead and exhale those arms back down. So we're going to take 2 twists on each side. Inhale the arms up. And we'll link the arms with the twist at this point. So twisting over to the right, exhale the arms down. As you keep the twist, inhale the arms back up. And exhale, go ahead and exit the twist, back through neutral. Inhale through center, arms separate and expand. Exhale, twist over to the left as the arms descend. Flip the palms up, reach your arms, grab up some extra energy from the earth, and then go ahead and twist your way back through center on exhale, allowing the arms to come back to the planet. So we're gonna do that 1 more time. Inhale the arms up, Pull your whole torso up and into the spine as you squeeze yourself into a twist. We're really squeezing the organs, starting to squeeze the lungs. Anything that's culminating in the intestines will be expelled here, cleansed here. Inhale your way back through center. Exhale. And then inhale your way into length. And then exhale over to the opposite side. Fly your arms down with grace, with patience, love, and understanding. Sweep it back up. And exhale your way back through center. Beautiful. Release those arms down. And let's just get some shoulder rolls into it. Be very exaggerated with these rolls. So sometimes I let my elbows lead the way. You can even rest your hands on top of the shoulders or delts and get into this rotation. You can always take one at a time if that feels better, a little bit more backstroke motion. And then we'll take elbows far apart behind you and then elbows to touch together in front of you. Let's do that again. So as we move the arms back and forth, pay attention to those low ribs where we started breathing earlier. See if you can resist the urge to stick those ribs forward on either of these motions. Keep hugging them back to the spine. One more time. Inhale. Open that heart. Let's pause here for an exhale. Inhale, swing those elbows back together. And then we'll go ahead and release the forearms together, fingers point up towards the sky. So we're pressing magnetically these hands, palm connection, inner forearm connection, elbow connection, squeeze and press. On the inhale, reach the arms up, keep those shoulders rooted down, and go ahead and exhale. Beautiful. All right, let's come on to our hands and knees. Just get a little bit more opening in the chest and shoulders before we round out this practice. So grab a block if you don't already have one, release the pillow or whatever prop you had out from underneath you, and then we'll come on hands and knees. You can have that prop handy, the block off to the side. And we'll start with the left hand right in front of the face on the mat. So bring your right hand to your sacrum and make sure that the hips are nice and level there. Roll that right shoulder up on top of the back as you press evenly through each finger on the left hand. Reach your right arm to the sky, take a deep breath. Pull the belly in, low ribs in, but keep both knees evenly rooted down. On the exhale, scoop that right arm underneath you, land the shoulder on the earth, and then go ahead and readjust the hips. Make sure those hips are still even. You can even bring your left hand up now to check out the sacrum. Perhaps bring the weight forward or back. We're looking to stack the hips right on top of the knees. Keep your shoulder where it is, and let's lift the head up. Bring it forward about an inch or half inch or so. Create some space there for your right ear so that your shoulder and your right side of your neck is not crunched. If you have the room and the will, you can always reach that left arm up overhead or perhaps along the mat or floor above your body. Fingertips to the earth, if that's the case. Keep the palms lifted. Keep both arms active, super active here. One more breath. Finding the little nooks and crannies behind the shoulder blade. Allow the left hand to come back to earth, right in front of the face. Press down through that hand to lift up your right shoulder and arm. Counter twist it. Exhale, release. Let's bring both hands to the mat. Walk the hands forward about 6 inches or so. Tuck those toes and lift back into downward dog between sides. So we're using downward dog here as a shoulder opener, not so much into the legs. So you can always bring the weight forward on inhale, activate and strengthen the shoulders through plank. And then as you exhale, press the fingers into the mat to help lift those hips back. Draw the shoulders away from each other, down the side bodies, and then let the head just completely hang. One more big breath here in down dog. Don't worry about the legs so much. Focus on the shoulders as you exhale and squeeze them down the back, pressing into the forearm, pressing into the palm, to the meat of your knuckles. And go ahead on exhale, release those knees back to earth, and we'll switch sides for our big twist. So right hand comes right below the face, in the middle of the mat. Left hand can come to your sacrum. Go ahead and sway the right hip, left hip. Notice the difference when your weight shifts from one knee to the other. When you feel that levelness, go ahead and lift the arm to the sky if that feels good. If not, horizon works too. And then when you're ready, exhale, scoop underneath the body, out stretching your left arm to get into that left shoulder. Big twist here. So right hand can be a kickstand right in front of the face. Or as I mentioned before, if you'd like to check out the hips, the levelness there, go ahead and map it with your hand on the sacrum. Once you feel like your hips are nice and level, if you have some space in the shoulder, you might want to lift that arm straight up to the ceiling. If you've got both arms straight, press into your left arm. Feel yourself opening up like a book. If you feel crunched in the neck, you want to bring that right hand back to the earth and then scoot your weight forward by lifting the head up and bringing the hips forward about a half inch or so. Then you can re-engage the arm. Take one more breath here. Feel your ribs opening away from each other, those intercostal muscles flushing with fresh blood and oxygen. Exhale that right hand down. Right hand right in front of the face. Roots down. Upper body presses to lift your beautiful left wing back up to the sky. And go ahead and release it. So between sides here, we'll get some cat-cow. Drop the belly. Inhale. And exhale. Squeeze the belly up to the spine, up to the sky. Almost no weight in the hands. You feel that lift in the palms. Go ahead and exhale, reverse. Inhale, feel that breath flow in on cow pose. And feel the breath squeeze out, press it out on cat. Beautiful job. Okay, find that neutral spine. And then we'll take our block again. Place it right in the middle of the mat where our hand was. And we'll go ahead and bring our hands right on top of it. So if you have two blocks, might be a little bit easier to separate those blocks about shoulder distance apart. If you just have the one, you can make do for sure. So either way, right where our hands are, which should be directly below our shoulders, again with the knees directly below the hips. We like stacked joints here. Then we'll just bring elbows to replace those hands. So as you drop the elbows down onto your block, you'll feel a little bit of opening in the chest. So what we want to bring is the hands together. So the hands are pressing and active as we drop the hips back. So instead of collapsing the ribs forward towards the earth here, we're going to do a little bit of lengthening by drawing the hips back along with those ribs. So instead of the ribs dropping down, picture them pulling back with the hips. Beautiful. Feel that big stretch here, right underneath the shoulder blade, connecting the side body to your arm. Feel as though you may drop the head. You might even reach the earth with the forehead. If that's the case, relax completely into that support. There's a little bit of pressure through the arms to engage the shoulders. We want to be sure not to pop the shoulder out of its joint. So we still are pulling the shoulder down the back, really activating the joint by hugging our arm bone into the shoulder socket. One more breath here. Bring your hips back, back, back. And then go ahead and sway the weight forward on your next inhale. Bring the hips back over the knees. Replace your hands to your blocks. And let's try cat-cow at this elevated block position. Squeeze the air out. Inhale, reverse the motion. Feel the air rush back in. And go ahead and sit back onto your knees. So hopefully you're feeling a lot more openness in the upper back. We're just going to practice one more posture to ensure that we really got into that space directly behind the heart. So we collapse forward often when we are not enjoying the environment or in pain. So If you're traveling a lot, typically people try to be smaller and in groups of strangers, not take up too much space. Or, of course, if the smoke is around, you're trying to cover your body and mouth. Frequently with COVID, we're dealing with the same things with masks. So here's your opportunity really to open up, not just through the front of the body, picturing our blue light emanating from the throat chakra, but also through the back body. So let's bring our arms out wide. Inhale, feel that blue light originating, glowing, infusing the rest of the body with coolness. And then we'll bring the arms forward and find eagle arms. So we're going to stack the forearms on top of each other, right on top of left, and then slide the forearms over each other to the elbow stack. Go ahead and pivot at that joint to bring the backs of the hands together. And if you have a second wrap there in eagle arms, feel free to take the second wrap and grab palms. We're going to drop the shoulders here. Drop the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, lift the elbows, keep the shoulders dropped. Breathe deeply. Feel your jaw unlock from any pressure that it holds, any tension. Send your jaw and chin slightly backwards so you feel the back of your skull bloom behind you. Take one more breath behind the heart. Feel the length of your torso grow. And then go ahead and release, dropping the arms slowly, backing out just the way we came in. So dropping forearms parallel to the horizon, and then sliding those forearms along each other until you find your way back into outstretched arms. So I should have mentioned, of course, I'm seated in what is a comfortable seat to me, but it's okay if you sit cross-legged or however you like. If you do have a prop, when we set up for the second side, that might be more comfortable as we are here for a little bit. Let's bring those arms out. Inhale and exhale, this time left on top. Slide those forearms across one another till the elbows lock. Pivot the arms up. Take your interlace if you've got it. If not, keep the backs of the hands pressing against one another. It's a little bit harder actually. Drop the shoulders if you can without dropping the elbows themselves, and breathe. It's all about breathing. Imagine your breath is an archaeologist uncovering the bones of time in your body with little brushes and air canisters. So that is your breath. You are the brush, you are the air canister. And with every single breath, you uncover a little bit more of your truth. One more inhale, find length. And exhale, go ahead and release slowly, not ricochet, but intentionally and gracefully. Go ahead and release those arms out all the way to the horizon. Take a big breath, and then we'll give ourselves a big hug. We deal with a lot in life, and when you throw smoke, disaster, natural disasters on top of everything, we deserve some gratitude and love. So give yourself that big hug of gratitude. And thank you so much for joining me to clear the throat and chest in our yoga practice today. May you be well and practice often. Namaste.